The USA have beaten Sweden 2-0. The USA put their strongest available lineup on the field. Sweden made 7 changes to their starting 11. I think that's one of the reasons why Sweden lost. There was a lot of changes there, a mix and mash between your strongest 11 and the depth players. I think it hasn't paid off. It's backfired, and this World Cup is going to, finishing first in the group is the way to go, because it actually makes it an easier passage through the knockout stages, with some third place teams qualifying for the second round. The US side, they didn't actually seem troubled today, really. While they only scored 2 goals and they possibly should have scored more, Sweden were poor, basically. I don't think this was the toughest test for the United States team that they could have had. Sweden have the talent to really push the USA all the way, but I think the changes disrupted the flow of the lineup, and both goals came from the Swedish right, in the sense, defensively. So the US left-hand flank is where both goals come from, corner and a cross. And, the defending for the corner is shambolic. No, the goalkeeper runs to her near post, put defenders on each post and command your box. The goalkeeper did not look very commanding in her box, and no one took responsibility to clear that ball, and Horan just gets on the end of it. It's too easy. And that was after 3 minutes. Now, VAR checked that for offside. How can you be offside from a corner? I have no idea. Heath's goal in the second half, very, very similar. Ball comes in from the US left. The finish is slightly deflected. Again, there's a check for offside for a player not interfering in play, although deemed to possibly be interfering in play when the ball is crossed. If we're going to check almost every goal for, with a VAR check, that's going to disrupt the flow of the game. They need to check in real time. They need to look at the remit of VAR and improve the system, because this is more controversial than last year with the Men's World Cup. The remit of VAR works better. It was more effective last year. I don't know what's happened. I know they've changed the wording of some of the rules, like offside and handball and various bits and pieces, but VAR is starting to dominate the conversation more than it should, and the officials are far too reliant on VAR. I think they need to go with their intuition more. But on saying that, the United States were far the better side and should have had more goals. Sweden, I think they need to look at themselves long and hard in the mirror and see if any of those depth players really earned a stay in the first team. I think they should have gone and try and win the group. It makes their passage through the tournament easier into the knockout stages, because of the third place teams qualifying, the 4 best third place teams qualifying for the next round. You want to win the group. It's just an easier passage in the next. You get an easier game, on paper at least, in that second round, or the chance of an easier game in the second round to continue further into the tournament. Now the US have won the group, they have an easier second round fixture than the Swedes will. The Swedes will have a much tougher fixture in the second round. Winning the group is crucial. This has happened in so many tournaments. Doesn't matter if it's a Football World Cup or World Championships, at the IIHF Ice Hockey, or the Rugby Union World Cup, Rugby League World Cup. Topping your group is important for several reasons. One, you have an easier route through the knockout stages. 2, it builds confidence winning games. Winning games builds confidence with the team and helps the team grow, and confidence can also take you a long way in a tournament, and momentum. So the fact that Sweden made so many changes for such a key game, this was a game they wanted to test themselves against the best, and they really didn't perform. And the US cantered to a 2-0 win. I think they could have had more goals, possibly should have had more goals. It could have been 3 or 4, 5 even. I'm surprised that they didn't. Their accuracy was, again, shot accuracy was not as good as it could be. And I've noticed as the tournament's progressed, the 3 games, the US shooting percentage has gone down. And shooting percentage is something that I've noticed with a lot of teams, where they are creating a lot of chances and they're missing so many and they're so wasteful. That's something that, if the women's game is to improve, shooting percentage has to improve with it. Because if the quality level is to get better, this is one of the areas where they need to improve. because goalkeeping as well also needs to improve. There's not been many howlers yet, but I think they're the two real weakest areas in the women's game right now in this tournament is goalkeeping and shooting percentage. But I'm going to leave that there. The USA deservedly win. Could have won by more. Sweden, I think they made an error of judgment with so many changes for such an important game where they really, if they had to put a marker down, they could have beaten the US tonight if they put out their full strength side. I honestly believe that didn't test the US enough. So again, the US cruise through the group stage. But I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below and I'll have some more videos for you tomorrow.